Welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm now joined by former basketball player Gabe McNeil. Gabe, always a pleasure having you in the studio. Now, you've started an organization since you've graduated. Just want to explain what that all entails a little bit.
Well, my organization is called Go Pro in the Game of Life. What I do is promote literacy, and I motivate and encourage young kids to read. As we understand that reading is the foundation of education. Education is the key to success. So my idea and my goal is to promote literacy and improve these reading scores in the urban city communities. It's just, that's where the problem exists, and that's my passion. My passion is just helping young kids with challenging circumstances become successful. And I attribute my success to my reading background. Without being able to read, I wouldn't have been able to progress through elementary school, middle school, and high school, and now college.
You mentioned literacy. You see these kids, they come in and you mentioned they might have literacy problems. What growth have you seen in them just through the short time your program has existed?
Now that I've been doing these programs, I've been doing them in Providence Family Support Center, John Merrill Elementary, I've even been to the Hosanna House. Now these kids are becoming more engaged in reading with these fun programs that I do have. Now they're actually starting to think about it. They're starting. I preach to the kids the importance of setting goals, making the right choices, and just simply having a game plan for your life. And the way to be successful is by reading. So now I'm getting these kids to start thinking about it.
Now, how did you get this program off the ground? How did you take this from something just that you mentioned last year, even on this show, and actually get it into an organization that's gained the speed that I've seen just through social media?
Well, I've actually had this business plan written up for a couple of years now. I haven't really put it into play until this summer. Last year was my last year for basketball, so I had the choice to make. I either was going to go overseas to pursue basketball, or was I going to stay and graduate and start this foundation. I prayed on it, thought about it a lot, and I came to the decision that I'm going to start this foundation and I'm going to stay and graduate and get my degree. And doing this truly makes me happy. And I just realized what life is all about, and life is all about giving back. And my passion for giving back and helping people is just greater than basketball. And that's exactly why I decided to get off the bench and get into the game of life now. Now I have the mindset that I'm going to go pro in the game of life, and that's what I'm preaching to the kids. You can't play sports forever. Eventually you have to have a backup plan, and that's my message.
Now, how do you find time to do this? Because you're still a student here at Point Park. How do you find time in between classes to go and do this and try to preach your message to the students with all the other work you've got going on?
Well, this organization is my life mission. It's my number one priority, so I work it out between classes, right before I come to school, right after school. This is my first priority, and I have a commitment to the kids.
Now, what are some of the programs you do? As you mentioned the literacy. Well, what are the things you do to really get them engaged with literacy programs at these schools?
A couple programs just to mention. One of my programs is my motivational speaking message. I share my testimony with the kids. I let them know that it doesn't matter what you go through or where you've been or how many obstacles you have to face. You too can be successful. And I come from the struggle, so I can relate to a lot of kids from the struggle. So I kind of share my story with them, helping to get them inspired, letting them know that they too can be successful. And but another program that I have is Cool Cat Entertainment. When you turn on the radio, music has the biggest influence on kids. When you turn on the radio, they're rapping every lyric, every word. They know every song, but all they promote is sex, drugs, alcohol, violence, pretty much the same stuff. So there's no rappers, when you cut on the radio, there's no rappers that's promoting, hey, get a good education, go to school, read. No rappers are doing that. So that's when the Cool Cat in the Hat Man comes into play. So basically my whole philosophy with that is that I'm the black cat in the hat.
Now, when you look at, before break, when you look at this and you see someone go through this program, what's the overall end goal you want to see someone come out of this program with?
I just want to get kids inspired. I want to help kids. I want to help kids become successful. Kids that don't have goals, I want to have them setting goals for themselves. I want them making the right choices and simply just thinking about what they want to do with their life so they won't be headed down a negative road, and just to place themselves around positive people.
And real quick here, what do you see as the future of this program?
I see this thing going nationally. I really want to expand this thing nationally. I don't see this thing just going on just in Pittsburgh. This is the ground base. I started it here in Pittsburgh, so I always have a heart for here, but I want to affect kids all over the world and make a positive impact in their lives.
All right, thank you very much for stopping by, Gabe.
Thank you, Chris.
We wish you the best of luck. Gabe, with his new program here at Point Park University, started here in Pittsburgh, trying to get kids literacy. Great stuff there. After the break, after our final break, that is, we'll take a look at the teams in the NFL and find out which one might stumble down the final stretch of the season maybe might not find himself in the playoff after all. Find out after this break.